So what do you think is the biggest obstacle that's getting in your way and preventing you from becoming a healthier version of you? I'm just so overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start.
Like, do I do keto? Do I do intermittent fasting? Do I go gluten-free?
Or do I just say, never mind, I'm just getting cheese fries? It's too much. It's too much. That makes a lot of sense. And I totally understand that because there's so much misinformation about nutrition online. But you know what? You're not alone. A lot of people struggle with this. And if that's you too, this video is for you. So I hope after watching this, you can, number one, realize that healthy eating can be simple. And number two, that when you start to actually implement these tips, you really start to feel the difference in your body. So without further ado, let's start with the top 10 healthy eating tips for beginners. Number one, start by assessing your beverages. How much water are you drinking throughout the day, and what other drinks are you drinking on a daily basis? Because let's say you were drinking 2 16-ounce bottles of Sprite or another sugary beverage per day, which is about 200 calories each, so 400 calories coming from soda. Well, did you know it takes a deficit of about 500 calories per day to lose a pound per week? So if you were to just not even change anything else in your diet, keep everything else completely the same, including your physical activity, and just cut out the soda, replacing it with water or another healthy alternative that doesn't have any calories and doesn't have any sugar, you would effortlessly lose almost 1 pound a week just from that one simple change. Now take this with a grain of salt because it really depends on your calorie need. For example, somebody who needs more calories at baseline may have to cut more calories to experience the same weight loss that somebody who needs less calories at baseline. But in general, you can't go wrong with reducing sugar-sweetened beverages. You might also see a huge improvement over time in your energy levels, your productivity, your focus, and decrease your risk of type 2 diabetes and other chronic conditions. As your blood sugar improves, your energy improves, so maybe you work out more. It can really have this huge positive domino effect in your life. And luckily these days, there are so many healthier alternatives at the grocery store. My personal favorite is Zevia. Zevia has sodas, but they also have these teas. Some of them are caffeinated and some of them are not, and I am a huge fan. Tip number two has to do with eating breakfast. And I know that intermittent fasting is really popular these days, but a lot of times in my personal clients, this is what I see. And I wonder if a lot of you guys experience the same thing. We tend to not really eat very much in the beginning of the day. Maybe we skip breakfast, maybe we have a really light lunch, maybe we're drinking lots of coffee, and maybe we're keeping ourselves so busy at work that we are kind of ignoring our hunger. So by the time we get to dinner, our hunger really catches up with us and we want to eat everything. We may have intense nighttime cravings, we feel quote unquote out of control, and in general, we just feel really guilty because all of a sudden we're scarfing down food and don't know what's gotten into us. Well, let me tell you, one thing that could have gotten into you is that you just didn't eat enough calories in the beginning of the day. Some people are just not breakfast eaters, and I get that, but again, assess yourself, assess your body, experiment with eating a high protein breakfast versus no breakfast at all, and see how you feel. Because healthy eating is not a one size fits all, we really have to learn about ourselves, assess ourselves, and see how different foods affect us. And in all of this B-roll, you'll see me making some of my favorite go-to breakfast options that are always high in protein because I know my body, and for me, I need protein in the beginning of the day. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be starving, unfocused, and not productive at work, and probably have lots of cravings. I usually use soy milk, but I ran out, so this has been one of my favorite protein powders so far in chocolate. Sometimes I add a little bit of spirulina too. You know it was a meal prep day when I have bandages on. And that brings me to number 3, which is stop ignoring your hunger. Hunger is not a bad thing. So why are we acting like it's something that we need to avoid or suppress or ignore? Something that we need to just keep drinking more coffee or just keep doing more work and it'll go away. But let me tell you, ignoring it doesn't make it go away. The signals only get stronger, whether you realize it or not. Think about your hunger like the urge to urinate. The more you suppress it, ignore it, and hold it in, the stronger that desire will get. Eventually, it will catch up to you. It's better to plan for your hunger and deal with it now rather than feeling starving by the time you get to the meal where you feel like you want to eat everything. And here's a little bonus tip for you, because I really think that how we eat is just as important as what we eat. This day and age, we're always distracted when we're eating. We're watching TV or we're doing something else, and we just tend to scarf down the food. Or maybe we're just in a rush, or we're eating at our desk while we're working. There are some very simple mindful eating strategies that you can implement in your day-to-day life, such as taking your time with food, putting your fork down between bites, because that way you will start to be able to trust your own hunger signals, because you'll be able to recognize them a lot faster. When we eat slowly, we give our brain time to get those signals that, oh, we're actually full now. And this all can have a dramatic effect on your health, your relationship with food, your anxiety. So if you want to learn about all of this stuff in more detail, how to differentiate between physical hunger versus head hunger, and how to actually eat slowly, because I know we've all heard it before, but we just might not know how to do it, I have this whole playlist here that teaches you the actual steps. I think it's really important to know, so if you want to learn more about that, you can check it out. Number 4, make healthy eating fun. It doesn't have to be boring. Think of it like a game. How many vitamins and minerals and nutritious foods can you eat? Oftentimes, we think so much about subtracting food.
I can't eat chocolate, I can't eat sweets, I can't drink alcohol, I can't eat pizza, I have to cut out burgers, I have to cut out fries.
But we don't sit down and visualize all of the delicious foods that we can have. What about a large crunchy salad with lots of toppings and a creamy homemade dressing? Or a healthy version of a burrito? Let's think creatively about how we can make healthy food taste good to us, rather than thinking about all the foods we have to eliminate. Because sometimes if we go with the latter, we tend to feel deprived. Why not try to make healthier versions of your favorite foods? Instead of sour cream, why not make a healthier version of that with Greek yogurt? Find ways to make healthy eating fun and something that you're gonna look forward to. For number 5, we are back in the kitchen, because that is to increase your vegetable intake. Now, I know most of you watching this are probably not eating enough vegetables in the day, because actually, according to the CDC, only 1 in 10 adults get enough fruits and vegetables in the day. And what is enough? Well, for women, at least 1.5 cups of fruit and 2.5 cups of vegetables. And for men, at least 2 cups of fruit and 3.5 cups of vegetables. Certain organizations like the National Cancer Institute recommends eating a variety of fruits and vegetables that have different colors, because if you saw in my antioxidant video, I explained that the different colors in fruits and vegetables depict the different types of antioxidants and nutrients that are in them. And those antioxidants and nutrients that you get in fruits and vegetables, you can't necessarily get from a supplement. This is one reason eating fruits and vegetables are so important, and eating a variety of colors of them are so important. And that goes hand in hand with tip number 6, which is, okay, we know we're supposed to be eating all these vegetables, but every time I buy a bag of fresh vegetables, I forget about it.
And it always goes bad.
That's why I always have frozen vegetables in my freezer, because they're just as nutritious as fresh and they last a lot longer. I often also buy dried vegetables to snack on. A lot of these are just dehydrated vegetables, but check the nutrition facts and the ingredients to see if anything else has been added. Another thing you can do, what I do often, is if I know that I'm not going to eat all of the vegetables I bought, I'll take some of them and freeze them so that I can use it later in smoothies throughout the week. So let me know in the comments if this is something that you've implemented in your life and if it actually helps. Some of you are going to love this one and some of you are going to hate this one, because it's going to be super controversial, but I'm telling you, organic produce is not healthier for you, and it's not necessary. When it comes to meat or dairy products, it might be better to buy organic, but when it comes to fruits and vegetables, I wouldn't waste my time or my money on that. If you're concerned about pesticides, just buy conventional produce and scrub it with a little vegetable brush, and that gets off most of the pesticide residue. Because guess what? Organic produce still contains pesticides. Many people think that organic produce is pesticide-free and therefore healthier, but that's actually not true.
As a farmer who's grown organic and conventional, I can tell you, it's a scam. It's like when they tell you strawberries are GMO free. There's no such thing as a GMO strawberry. Organic and non-organic foods are identical in nutrition.
You heard it from a farmer. Number 8, find what balance in your life actually means to you. You know, I say this all the time, you don't have to eat perfectly every single day and all of the time to reach your health goals. But think about the little day-to-day changes that you can make without feeling the need to be perfect, but including some more nutritious foods. For example, when you go out to eat and you order a burger and fries, ask yourself, do you really need both the burger and the fries? Would you be satisfied if you replace the fries with a salad? So you could still have the burger, but then you're adding some extra veggies there. Or instead of ordering 2 slices of pizza, can you get 1 plus a salad? Find ways that you can balance healthy eating in your life without it feeling like it needs to be all or nothing. I think we've lost the concept of balance with healthy eating because of the myth that just because we add dressing on our salad, now it's unhealthy. Or just because we ate pizza one day, now all of a sudden we're so unhealthy. That's this all or nothing thinking. Just because you add something that's not so healthy to something that's otherwise nutritious, it doesn't ruin the health of that food. You're still getting all of the vitamins and fiber and antioxidants in the nutritious food. And you're making it taste good to you, so maybe you end up eating more of it rather than if the salad didn't have any dressing on it, you would probably eat less of it, and therefore you would probably get less vitamins and minerals. So ask yourself, are you falling into this all or nothing mentality? And try to find that balance in your life. Number 9. Define what does healthy eating even mean to you? Because being healthy is kind of a vague term. It might mean different things to different people. We often think we're not working out enough, we're not eating well enough, we're not good enough. But what does enough even mean?
Is it working out 5 times a week? Is it working out 2 times a week? Is it eating healthy 80% of the time and enjoying yourself 20% of the time?
Or is it eating perfectly all of the time and being a little bit unrealistic and hard on yourself? We often guilt trip ourselves for not exercising enough without even defining what enough means. Because who you are today is different than who you were a year ago. Maybe you used to work out 5 times a week and you used to make home-cooked meals all of the time. Without taking into consideration your life circumstances have changed. You may have more time now, you may have less time now, you may have kids now. So why are we comparing ourselves now to the person that we used to be in the past and beating ourselves up for not living to those expectations? It's more important to focus on what you can do now given the situation that you're in. And if that's working out just 1 time a week, then so be it. Start small and slowly, because slow and steady wins the race. I think sometimes we all need to hear that we can go slow, because sometimes when we think that we have to do all of these things, it can get very overwhelming. And just knowing this information is not enough to actually doing it. So if you're kind of stuck in that,
I know what to do, but I'm just not doing it,
take at least one of these tips from this video and start implementing it as soon as possible. And also maybe watch this video on how to make any healthy habit stick. Because sometimes we're not making them small enough and we're getting too overwhelmed because we're trying to do it all at once. And feel free to come back to this video in the future and pick another tip that you want to work on. Add on slowly so that these changes can be sustainable for you and that you can become the healthiest version of yourself. And so you can feel your absolute best because you deserve it. Either I don't know how to count or you're missing the 10th tip. Oh yeah, that one is to follow me on all the social media platforms. Shameless plug, but also because I want you guys to be surrounded with good, credible information coming from a registered dietitian, because there's a lot of nutrition misinformation out there and I don't want you to get sucked into that. I think that what you consume on social media and put into your brain space is just as important as what you consume in your diet. So be mindful of who you're following and do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram and over on TikTok as well so that you're surrounded with my information too. One of the biggest joys as a content creator on social media is when you get to hear that people are listening to you, taking your advice, and actually feeling a difference, and it's actually helping them. So if that does become the case for you, I would really love it if you comment on this video and let me know. Stay happy and healthy, guys, and I'll see you very soon in my next video.